Today, I want to talk to you about Bayard Rustin, who was one of the earliest members of the National Association of Black and White Men Together. He was a man of letters, but above all, he was an activist. There is a place for education in the fight against racism, but we shouldn't confuse it for the actual fight itself. With the many murders of black men and women, many companies and colleges are instituting plans and courses on diversity and inclusion. This is welcome, but they should not dilute the political energy of today's fights. Indeed, our own organization, NABWMT, has provided much needed education over the years from our BMISJ, that's the Bush-Malone Institute for Social Justice. They had many courses and have provided iconic routes to understanding racial justice. However, the notion that education is social change may not ring completely true. And at the height of the civil rights movement, Bayard Rustin advocated a shift from protest to politics. He also emphasized economic concern. Rustin's speech on, quote, firebombs or freedom budget, end quote, is as cogent today as it was in the 1960s. In that speech, Rustin required us, quote, address the needs of all Americans poor. He went on to suggest we demand full and fair employment for all. In addition, he proposed that we needed, quote, decent medical care and adequate educational opportunities for all Americans, end quote. Like Rustin, we have long believed that healthcare is a right for all, not a privilege for just a few. There should be a public health insurance option like Medicare. If your insurance company isn't doing right by you, you should have another, better choice. This is whether you're covered through your employer, buying your insurance on your own, or going without coverage altogether. Furthermore, Rustin exhorted people to carry on a voter registration campaign in your area. Rustin's words are ones to live by, and at the NABWMT, we have a political action effort within the Media Committee and an education arm at the BMISJ. We strive to meet the challenges that exist in Rustin's times and still are here today. So, how do we get out the vote? One way is to make it personal. People are more likely to participate when contacted personally by someone they know. This holds true if voters are friends, neighbors, and community-based agencies that are familiar and trusted. Look for the opportunities to initiate conversations about voting while delivering services, in meetings, on the phone, or at trainings and events. Then, it is a good idea to make it easy. Voters may not have basic information about the election, like when the polls are open, how to find your poll location if you've recently moved, or what kind of identification is necessary. Fortunately, nonprofits and government sites are well equipped to help voters get the information they need to vote with confidence. Please try to give the voters the urgency of now. If the election seems important, people are more likely to turn out because they believe that their vote will make a difference. Likewise, voters respond when they perceive that an election is competitive or is a high profile. You can encourage this by highlighting closely contested candidate races or ballot measures. For example, see our Facebook posts on the Georgia Senate runoff election. Then pump up the volume in the final week and on election day itself. In addition, people are more likely to vote if they visualize their plans to do so. Ask people to think specifically about when and how they plan to vote. Finally, remember the power of positivity. Don't do negative messaging. Use positive messages that encourage people to vote by connecting the election back to your community's future and your organization's issues, like those of the NABWMT. So, if you are an NABWMT member or not, thanks for voting in the 2020 election, but please continue the fight. As Bayard Rustin said, quote, "If we desire a society in which men are brothers, then we must act towards one another with brotherhood. If we can build such a society, then we would have achieved the ultimate goal of human freedom." Thanks for listening. This is Ken Barron at the NABWMT on the NABWMT Media Committee, along with my co-chair, Demetrius. We wish you a safe and happy Thanksgiving, and come back and listen and watch us. Thank you.